70 years ago, it was said that television would be a game-changing tool for education. While video broadcast on TV had some educational value, it didn't become used daily in schools. Its impact was muted because of the limited educational material being broadcast. Usually didn't fit with a student's educational needs, and videos were not able to be shown exactly when they were needed by educators. Video content on the internet is causing a major shift in education today, and the king of video on the internet is YouTube. Today, if you want to learn to play guitar or learn Chinese, you turn to YouTube. There are lessons posted for free on almost any subject you can think of. Teachers often post links to short videos related to content standards students are working on. Students may view these videos to introduce them to a subject, to enhance a lesson, or even to review information. I've made a number of videos and posted them on YouTube. Once videos are created and posted, they can be used over and over again. Some educators even stream sessions live on YouTube. Students can view lessons as they happen. For the most part, YouTube is a platform for one-way communication. A person creates the video and another views them. Viewers can post comments on videos to start a dialogue about the content. But this isn't a quick, effective way to communicate for two-way communication. In summary, YouTube provides the ability to view videos on almost any subject at any time. This is an advancement in communication and a fantastic tool for education. Oh no.
Getting started with YouTube. There are 6 steps to creating content on YouTube. First, you must create a video. We suggest you watch YouTube videos on how to best create videos. One easy way is to simply use your smartphone to shoot video. Sign up for a Google account. Use this account to log into YouTube. Click on your profile icon and select Creator Studio. You will see a message that says you must create a channel to upload videos. Click Create a Channel. Click on the Create Channel button. Congratulations, you have now created a YouTube channel. Press the upload arrow. Select the video you wish to upload. It will now upload. Fill out all the basic info for the video. This includes the title and description. You may then select a thumbnail for your video. You may now want to press on the Advanced Settings button. Here you can specify if you want to allow comments on your video, make it available for feeds, like podcasts, restrict view age and more. Press Done. Congratulations, your video is now being processed and will soon be available to view on your YouTube channel.
So in order to use YouTube, you're going to want to have an internet-connected computer or smartphone. You're going to want to have some way of creating video, and usually you want to have a script. It's very difficult to look at a camera and read from a script at the same time. Now, some people like to try to use a teleprompter, but even then it's hard to make it so that it looks like you're looking at your audience while at the same time you're reading your script. You could probably tell from the beginning of the video when I was talking about advanced communication, I was reading from a script there, and what I did was I used my smartphone and a teleprompter application, and I found that works the best in order to create video and read from a script at the same time. It takes some practice to get it to be where it doesn't look like you're reading from a script, so since that portion was done in one take, you'll notice it really does sound like I'm reading from a script. Right now I'm kind of looking at notes in a script, so please bear with me as I look down every now and then to find my place. So videos can be created with a camera, a smartphone, This one right now I'm using a webcam to talk to you, and I'm using a software called Screencast-O-Matic. Sometimes, here's Screencast-O-Matic, what it looks like. Sometimes I use a software called OBS Studio, and that's what this is, in order to record. It just depends on what you get used to and what you like for any particular recording that you're working on. You'll notice that I used a different application called My Simple Video, or My Simple Show, that was it, for the YouTube explainer part. That's a great way of going, because then you just write your script, you can upload some images, and you use the application to easily create the video for you. You can also use PowerPoint and export it as a movie, so there's a lot of options to create video even if you don't have a camera or a smartphone. It's helpful to use video editing tools. After I'm done filming this right now, I will be using likely Adobe Premiere. I also have Adobe After Effects. You can get an Adobe subscription at adobe.com. They have education pricing. A lot of people like to use either Final Cut or iMovie. Some people even use Windows Movie Maker in order to create their videos. It's not too hard. What is difficult is just getting the courage to actually sit down, take the time, and try to figure it out. I find that teachers will tell me, oh, you know, I'd make video, but I just don't know how. Well, that's kind of just an excuse these days, because you can go on YouTube and you can search for videos on how to make videos. They're all over. There's thousands and thousands of videos on that. And use YouTube to learn the new skills that you need in order to post videos on YouTube. It's not that hard. A couple of tips if you do decide to make your own YouTube videos: keep it short and interesting. We get bored really easy. 5 minutes or better. 5 minutes or less. Man, don't mess up too much either. 5 minutes or less is what's recommended for a video. This 20-minute explainer video, some of you guys might be falling asleep at the end of it. I also usually speed my videos up so that there's a lot more content in a shorter amount of time, and that's because today's viewers have a lot shorter of an attention span. They're used to being entertained, and they want the information now. Another tip is to shoot your video in some place that is unexpected. I have a green screen behind me, and I can use my video editing software like Adobe After Effects, and I can take that screen out, put in any background that I want. Or I might just decide that I'm going to shoot the video on my smartphone and go to a location like the one I did earlier with my daughter, and film there. This way it keeps the video a little bit interesting and your audience doesn't tune out. As you can see, there's many different ways of creating video for YouTube. You just have to be willing to give it some time and effort.
How can YouTube advance and support schools' mission and vision statements? Most mission and vision statements talk about how to teach students how to be an effective citizen in today's tech-savvy world. Technology is moving along. Many schools talk about technology, and let's take a look at this quick YouTube video to see what technology is being introduced. It's also accessible anywhere. You can access YouTube from cell phones, laptops, desktops, smartboards. It's equitable. It's free to use YouTube. You can use it to have the students listen to music, lesson enhancement, use it for modifications for special ed students, and you could use it to have your lessons or your parent communication be different and exciting. Here's a video about how to use YouTube safely in the classroom, so you do not have to be bothered with the ads and the possible interesting comments.
And basically the way the site works is you start by grabbing the web address of your YouTube video that you want the kids to watch. So I'll come here and I'm going to copy the YouTube link. Then I'm going to go over to the View Pure website. I'm going to paste that in, and I can just go ahead and hit Purify if I want and be done with it, but there's also a little gear here if you do want to click on, and they can give you a few more options. So for example, I can set a start time and an end time if I just wanted them to see a certain portion of the video, for example. Well, for this, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and take the normal video as it is. But what's going to happen is if I come to View Pure and I put that YouTube link in, if I click the Purify button, it is now going to create a web page here where the video plays completely by itself. Nothing else is here. There's no suggested videos on the side. There's no ads around it. There's no comments at the bottom. And if we get to the very end of the video again, let's get to the very end. When it finishes, it just finishes. It doesn't autoplay the next video. It doesn't show suggested videos. So the idea is ViewPure will create a unique URL. So if you look at the top here, I now have a viewpure.com web address with a special code on there. And that is the link that I want to give to my students now. Rather than giving them the original ice bucket challenge video from YouTube, I'm giving them the same video, but I'm giving it to them with the viewpure.com.
Also, I picked this video because it discusses equity, and we've all seen this picture where is it equitable or is it equal? And so YouTube is equitable mostly because it's free and you can access it from anywhere. And there's also a video on how to avoid copyright issues.
Take a look at some of the online video news from last week and talk about the implications it has for us as creators. And I got a couple of YouTube updates I want to talk to you guys about. But first of all, there was an article over at Brafton.com's website called Fair Use, a Guide to Citations and Avoiding Plagiarism on the Web. And I want to take some of the things that talk about that article and summarize them for you guys here real quick. First of all, what is fair use? What constitutes fair use? Fair use is basically a clause in the Copyright Act here in the United States that lets people use copyrighted material in their content, provided that a couple considerations are taken into account, and there are 4 of them. Number 1, the purpose and character of the use is commercial in nature. 2, the nature of the copyrighted work has to be taken into consideration. 3, the amount used of the copyrighted work in relation to the entire creation that the new creator is making. And then 4, the effect it has on the value of the whole copyrighted work that you are presumably taking from some other creator and using in your content. If you are doing something with that content in a way that devalues that other person's, the original creators, the copyright holders' content, then that would be taken into consideration and probably wouldn't work out too well in your favor. Now, obviously, these are all very broad and general guidelines. So let me give you guys 3 different rules to maybe follow that will help you avoid getting into trouble with fair use and using other people's copyrighted material in your videos here on YouTube. Number 1 is make sure you are using more original content of your own than you are of borrowed copyrighted material from other people. Now, Now, this blog from Brafton.com suggests that you use like a 70-30 rule. 70% of your video should be your own content, and about 30% of it could be other people's copyrighted material. There's no hard and fast rule on that. The general principle is to use as much original material as you can while using as little copyrighted material as you can. And it's even better if you are using the original material to give commentary on the copyrighted work that you are talking about. Number two, the case for fair use in your video becomes a bit stronger when you're using multiple sources rather than just one source and taking a lot of different copyrighted material from that one source and using that in your video. So the more outside sources that you're pointing to, referencing, using as supporting points in contrast for whatever you're talking about in your video, the better. Number three, make sure you give credit to the source and the author of that content. Nothing is worse for fair use than using someone else's content and trying to play it off like it's your own, like you made it or something. I'll put a link in the description text of this video, or you can go read their full article if you want to dig into this a little bit more. But I would.
So basically, you need to cite your resources, as we know. There are different educational values if you want to get your message across here. So there is eHow Education, where it gives you small little lessons that you can have your kids watch. You can also post lectures. There are TED Talks for PD purposes. You can make a video about your school information or instructions for projects and post them on your teacher website. So this is just one of the TED Talks that I found interesting, but we won't go into that. You can watch it later if you'd like. Also, teachers can create their own videos on applications such as Edpuzzle, EduCreations, and Zaption. And here I have linked the video on how to make a Zaption. You can check that out on your own time. There's also YouTube EDU, which has appropriate small lessons that you can use in video form. And there's also an education site just for YouTube. It's hashtag YouTube Education. So we'll skip that video.
As an Australian Canadian,
So messaging, you can give all kinds of information from video clips. You can use TV shows, you can use music videos, documentary films, audio recordings, live streaming, video blogging, and educational videos. And the audience is everyone. Schools can use it for parents, students, teachers, professional development lessons, and the list goes on and on. And now over to Anthony.
Well, hi everybody. I have the last two bullet points in our presentation. I have best practices and access. So making sure that the videos are aligned with the school district policy and always preview 1 and 2. Pretty straightforward, but in terms of thinking about how we would use this to share with the staff, we want to make sure we cover all of our bases. Using educationally appropriate YouTube channels. So you can just do a little search on educational YouTube channels, but it is kind of a rabbit hole, so it's easy to find one channel that leads to another channel. And again, as long as you preview, you're okay. The one little thing that I found that you might want to just check out briefly too is if you find a great video, it's perfect for your lesson, you scroll down to the comments, you never know what's going to be posted from people with the comment section. So it's always good in case you scroll down a little bit. It might be a little accident of some inappropriate language that makes it into the comment section. And then again, just videos used from a school leadership perspective to teachers, videos used to enhance lessons. Another thing you can do is create student playlists with assignments, additional resources. You can record lectures and lessons for future viewing, and then like Jeremy, you can take it to the next level by editing the videos. You can add other things to it like voiceovers. So I'm learning. The next slide for me is equity. So in terms of access, YouTube probably is a giant, and there's a distant second place even with Facebook, but a lot of YouTube videos are on Facebook. But it's huge. It's huge. There's really no problem with access in terms of people being able to see it, because you can see it on, you can watch YouTube on smartphones, and on and on and on. And just, you know, going into the future here, look at these stats. The one I highlighted was the fact that people can use YouTube on their mobile devices. So in terms of that age group, you know, we're going to cover our bases if we're using YouTube for parents to be able to view, or students to be able to use at home. And then the next one down too is it's available in 76 different languages, and that covers 95% of the internet population. It's huge. And the platform's also launched in 88 countries. Just one little access tip here. You can see I did a before and after. This is an article from the NEA about technology, but you can just see the before and after. So in terms of a cumbersome long URL, we can shorten it and make it much easier to move around, especially for younger kids. It might be easier. And then lastly, I just have a list of my resources, and I can post those up for you guys if you're not able to click on them from this recording. Thanks.
Thank you, team. Thank you, Anthony, Jeremy, Laurie, for the informational video in regards to YouTube and how YouTube is being used in our 21st century classrooms. To end this presentation, I present to you our resources. Here you will find links, journals, literature, books that we all utilized to craft this beautiful presentation. Thank you and have a great evening.